Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are.
Yeah, fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare e wo mransemu. Eye legal services, be to say family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWF die, yen solicitors e de nijie e ne twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nya den kra. Yen partner penimpa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care eye abofrahwe mu awarja ye ho twema mentwe ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso. Yen child care any family team no nimni a wo famu eweni ye wo brei mu enunti ne yeto ye mboase ma wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a unni haw kra. Wo pe advice ewo immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF Solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho nsemsem kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas ni appeals. Yen senior partner eye member na wasagina tum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se taiwachi a wunni haw kra. Ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa no nkron pa mu ekosi enumre no nsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ena memene dan so eye appointment nko free anopa no ndu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm. Ye wo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground nso a eye kwantie bi. Yen senior partner Bernardo Wusu san ye barrister ya gina tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo ewo court cases ya efa Ghana law ho. Wa advise local authorities, official solicitors office ni solicitors bebre efa Ghanaian law ho yi na osan yo bia otai kasa ewo radio any TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.
Admitted to the crime, NOCO is guilty of the charges to conspiracy to commit crime and stealing. Court presided over by Samuel Bright Aqua. Wono at the fair ruling, no say, Obemani ruling. Initially, no na or yeah, the enemy of Johnny and so much, Emma or confess, yes, I, Adiana, we are no ayampa, na omo.
Time check now is 5 minutes past the hour of 9. Send me catch up with any BWF Solicitors ever to come.
Turn my pit.
Lawyer Eunice Atana Sinti with the main say who and Chemere and say other J. Cry and Court Niakomano Aquaba Emba Yefidi Kessi so Good morning, lawyer.
Good morning, Dr. Ren. Patron, what to say?
Nyame ada Roma ni ahwe yi. Net say ebusuafo ho te say.
Ah, Obia Huye, Yamia Dum, Obia Huye. Na Patron won't swear.
Nyame ada Roma. Dam Roma. Ye nyina ye ho ye.
Yeda
Lawyer,
Yamia say.
we there ye mo akwa aba kese papa. Ene ɛdeɛ na ɛwɔ apono so a wode ma yɛ etiefoɔ ayɛ krado ɛde ne maame nka nkyerɛ etiefoɔ sɛ mede phone lines no numbers no bɛto dwa 20 minutes pass wobɛtumi afrɛ sɛnea agya lawyer that time na agya nyame ayɛ adom no bi a questions ne answers a ɛne yɛbɛkɔm yɛakɔ mu ntɛntɛm sɛnea amanfoɔ ɛbɛnya adagye cause naano na amanfoɔ ka sɛ the course ɔmo frɛ yɛa na mmerɛ ni so a mesrɛ mo ayɛ a mo so momfrɛ ntɛm ɛtiɛ ne numbers mo a monim dada 0208 133 4646 0208 133 1134 WhatsApp lines no sɛ 077 71 950 989. Lawyer, where the mamu akwa bay and the day and the dapunos.
Nti mame ndi kan nkyia yɛtiefoɔ mo nkurɔfoɔ a motie yɛn wɔ tuning app no so nkurɔfoɔ a motie yɛn wɔ Rainbow Radio FM station no so nkurɔfoɔ a wɔrehwɛ yɛn wɔ Facebook live anaasɛ YouTube so yɛkyia mo nyinaa yɛda nyame ase sɛ ɛnnɛ da yi mu abɛka yɛn nsa bumper yɛsɛ mo nyinaa mo ho yɛ as we always do nti yɛbɛhyɛ ase with your topic na yɛbie phone lines no ato hɔ na yɛbie with updates bi a yɛwɔ in regards to your immigration nsɛm nti wobɛhwɛ yɛ topic na ɛnda a Dr. Ren is about nkurɔfoɔ a wɔwɔ UK a wɔkura EU limited leave to remain how a wɔbɛtumi ne wɔn mba no aba UK kurom ha nti sɛ wobɛhwɛ a yɛn bra no ɛsesa time na UK kaa sɛ ɔmo free EU no mu nti yɛhu sɛ amanfoɔ ate bebree sɛ na government no de nhyehyɛeɛ ɛreto hɔ ama EU foɔ ne wɔn abusuafoɔ a wɔte UK kurom ha nti the UK and the EU came to some agreements wɔn frɛ no the EU withdrawal agreement and since 2019 no ɛna government no de saa EU settlement scheme ɛhyɛ aseɛ sɛ wɔn ɛbɛma EU nkurɔfoɔ a wɔte kurom ha ahyɛ aseɛ sɛ wɔregye some sort of legal status sɛnea wɔbɛtumi ada so atena kurom ha without having EU law binding them nti ɛno no saa no yɛ EU settlement scheme no hyɛ aseɛ nti most people a wɔte sɛ sɛ wɔyɛ saa EU settlement scheme no wɔyɛ sisi a wɔanya wɔn limited leave to remain anaasɛ wɔanya wɔn settlement nti sɛ wobɛhwɛ a most people kura residence card anaasɛ permanent residence card no yɛbɔ nkurɔfoɔ amanneɛ sɛ wokura card no na wonyɛ wo EU settlement scheme a card na wokura no is not valid nti kye sɛ woayɛ EU settlement scheme agye wo limited leave to remain anaasɛ woagye wo settlement which is your indefinite leave to remain ansa na wobɛka sɛ at least woanya asetena wɔ kurom ha because card no would no longer have been valid after EU for no yɛayɛ separation anaasɛ yɛfiri mu no nti this occurred in January of 2020 nti yɛn nyinaa yɛnim sɛ UK sisi a we are independent from the EU because yɛne EU no mu biom but when it comes to the law in regards to your EU nationals ɛne ɔmo ebusuafoɔ a wɔte kurom ha anaasɛ nkurɔfoɔ a wɔn retain ɔmo rights as part of EU law no ɔmo nyinaa because they came under the EU treaties that were agreed no sisi a Britain aka sɛ EU law is no longer binding nti sɛ mobɛhyɛ yɛ British law n'ase nti na EU settlement scheme no ɛyɛ the way that the British people have said sɛ ɔmo betumi remain in the UK if they are able to apply to the EU settlement scheme. Nti we are looking at how saa nkurɔfoɔ a wɔyɛ EU foɔ a wɔbɛtena UK kurom ha before 31st December 2020 no wɔbɛtumi ne wɔn mba no ɛfiri Ghana abɛtena kurom ha because yɛnim sɛ government ne di kan ka sɛ from 31st December no ntumi ɛmfa wɔ extended family members ɛmba ɛna wɔde baa 30th of June 2020 sɛ ɔmo ɛgya iye family permits nyinaa nti na nkurɔfoɔ ɛdwen sɛ there will no longer be any means by which EU foɔ no will be able to bring ɔmo direct family members, but Yame Ayadom, they have said within Appendix EU, any Appendix EU family permit say, Omo betumi ada so ama Omo family members aba as long as they were living here before 31st December 2020. And see, that is what we are going to be looking at today, Dr. Ren.
Yo, wait there, lawyer, you better was papa. Now, question edin kan edi ma member modiana membusa. Say, a kwan ben so and will be ewo UK ha. Obetumi abo modia edene ba aba. For instance, with the main kind of brofana bi amefam kotwim. Can I bring my child to the UK if I have limited leave to remain under the EU settlement scheme? And obetumi edene ba aba. Abra wo EU settlement scheme nasi.
Of course, nti sɛnya mbra no ɛteɛ no sɛ woyɛ EU ni a wote kurom ha nti mɛka EU for at the moment nti EU ni a wokura EU passport, whether it's Spanish, Belgium, French, whatever EU country you're from, sɛ wote UK kurom ha ɛna wobɛtena hanom before 31st December 2020 deɛ a mbra no a ɛhyɛ hɔ anaasɛ ɔmode atoto hɔ no kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ EU ni a na ɛsɛ woyɛ application onto the EU settlement scheme. Sɛ woatumi ayɛ saa application no deɛ a then it means sɛ wowɔ right sɛ wobɛtumi atena kurom ha, wobɛtumi ayɛ adwuma, wobɛtumi ayɛ biribi biara a na woyɛ before. Nti ɛno no saa no sɛ wose woayɛ saa EU settlement scheme no bi, ɔmo bɛbisa wo sɛ how long na woatena kurom ha? Woatena hanom more than 5 years and I say less than 5 years. Nti sɛ woatena kurom hanom less than 5 years a ɔmo bɛma wo biribi a yɛfrɛ no limited leave to remain anaasɛ pre-settled status. Nti wo EU no wo nsa bɛka saa pre-settled status anaasɛ limited leave to remain sɛ woatena ha less than 5 years. Sɛ woatena ha 5 years or more deɛ a ɔmo bɛma wo settlement anaasɛ indefinite leave to remain. But share specifically for today nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmonya saa limited leave to remain a ɔmoyɛ EU foɔ a ɔmote UK kurom ha. Nti ɔmo no saa no sɛ ɔmo kora saa pre-settled status anaasɛ limited leave to remain deɛ a na ɔmo nso ɔmo betumi ayɛ saa application ama ɔmo joining family members nti yɛ EU Appendix EU na ɔmo ahyehyɛ no ɔmo say sɛ woyɛ application ne deɛ a woyɛ ama wo joining family member nti of course sɛ wowɔ obi a ɔyɛ wo yere, wo kunu, wo ba, wo mother, father, wo nana, ɔmo nyinaa ɛyɛ family members under yɛ Appendix EU nti wobɛtumi ɛne ɔmo aba kurom ha as long as you have applied onto saa EU settlement scheme no.
Yo, lawyer. Now, obi busa say under sa appendix EU immigration rules no. Akora ben wo sa sa appendix EU no ase. Under that appendix EU immigration rules.
Yeah.
Mofra ben no mo sha ase.
It's Ubesha previously before yede ye EU for no eba ye immigration rules na se no under EU regulations no na akola ebetumi aye wo direct family member either under the age of 21 and I say above the age of 21 and I say wa adopt akola na and also sa no eno no ebeba under regulation 8 of your previous regulations 2016 and 2006. But since so sure they've been more generous under Appendix EU family permits. Almost say akola over friend no say ebia oya woba akola ebia wedi under 21 nti ɔyɛ wo direct descendant of free one kasa ho anaasɛ wo kunu a waware no anaasɛ wo yere a waware no ɔmo ba no ɛyɛ wo direct descendant either sɛ akwadaa no ɛyɛ under the age of 21 anaasɛ akwadaa no ɛyɛ akwadaa a wadi 21-year-old child anaasɛ more than 21 nti saa akwadaa no a wadi more than 21 no or your dependent child into or depending on so usually a chrome how we can say I collect the 18 na or nakasa ye ni penny British immigration rules ne is totally different. Say British ni e kofa ne ba almost say we di 18 na wa ye ni penny on ya collabium. But under your EU law no and I say under your appendix EU no Akolano can be over the age of 21 and still be your dependent child. So that is the good thing about the EU law. No? So that dependent child will have to show say or that's so dependent on ne mami and I said ne papa. And I said betumi ayɛ akwala a mo adopt no nse awofo no ebia omo adopt sa akwala no ɛna akwala no abɛyɛ omo ba. Yɛfrɛ biribi so surrogacy nti ebi so etumi ma obi wo ɛma omo nti that is also another way of saying say saa nipa no ɛyɛ wo ba. Anaa krampo sɛ court no ama wo some guardianship order and I said child arrangement order nti akwala no nso abɛyɛ wo ba. Nti under here appendix EU law no they have all these categories of children in no sano it doesn't limit it to a specific age per se which makes it broad enough for EU fono to bring omumbano to the UK. Yeah.
And who care about it doesn't limit it to a specific age, no. I mean, jump question, but I mean, for age we in brave. It you know, so who can say it doesn't limit to any specific age? And then says, will be what a friend is saying. Does it really matter if a child is over 21 years? Because you're 30, so maybe 18 years. I mean, to me, confining about yes, you are a crum had a crown when you're 18 years and above, and to me, confining but it is
Yeah. It is oh yeah, obi a ukra indefinite under your immigration rules and also ukra British citizenship. So we want the 18 na untumi nkɔfa number. But so we EU need there ubetumi akɔfa number. So that's the difference. Yes. That's the difference. EU has more advantage over Obi or your British and also Obi indefinite under your immigration rules. That is the difference. It's EU, you know. So nobody did 19, 20, 21, 30, 40, or still now wait to me banaba. Yes. Into almost say akwala no edi more than 21 a dependent child into that dependent child no so kyerɛ or ɔda so dependent on the parents so wobɛhwɛ definition of dependency under your appendix EU family permit I say dependency no kyerɛ sɛ saa nipa no is relying on ne maame anaasɛ ne papa no so for financial support anaasɛ social support anaasɛ emotional support to meet no essential needs no nti it must be the essential needs whether whole or partly nti essential needs biribi te sɛ aduane a wobɛdi nsuo a wobɛnom ntade a wobɛhyɛ baby a wobɛda those things are seen as essential needs nti sɛ wohia wo maame anaasɛ wo papa mboa in terms of baby a wobɛda because ɔmo tua wo bills ama wo anaasɛ aduane a wobɛdi because ɔmo de sika to wo account mu a ɛno na wode yɛ wo biribiara wode tua wo bills wode yɛ wo biribiara but it doesn't say that it has to be wholly into ɔmo na ɔmo hwɛ wo biribiara ɔse wholly or partly into sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ nkwa sɛ wo parents no are helping you meet or essential needs wholly or partly there and the watcher say oh depending on mommy and answer papa because you are above the age of 21 and say obi a we 21 or above ne there and so to me any documents ɛkyerɛ sɛ woyɛ dependent on wo maame anaasɛ wo papa a ɔyɛ EU ni a ɔte kurom ha nti sɛ wowɔ Ghana na wo sɛ me maame ɛhwɛ me na wamfa documents bia ankyerɛ mo sɛ oh me maame anaasɛ me papa ebia almost sending me let's say £100 every month £100 so ebia me de tua light bill me de tua water bill ebia me de ɛno nso etua me phone bill ɛno nso saa no me de yɛ transport ɛno nso saa no me de didi me de yɛ say ne say one chom evidence bia ɔmo ntumi engye endi anaasɛ ɔyɛ shipping nti shipping no ɛho receipt no wode kyerɛ me say ne shipping na ɔyɛ no ɛho receipt ni ɔde aduane ne ntadeɛ ne nneɛma ɛkeka ho na ɔmode abrɛ me nti shipping receipt no nso nie anaa mpo sɛ woka sɛ because me maame ne me papa da bi a ɔmofrɛ me wɔ phone no so nti there's no way a mɛtumi aka sɛ men depend on ɔmo socially nti ebia from time to time mɛfrɛ ɔmo anaasɛ almost every day me text ɔmo nti text no deɛ ɛwɔ whatsapp no so wobɛtumi aprinte anaasɛ wobɛtumi ahyɛ na waprinte sɛ messages no ni a ɛkyerɛ sɛ me ne me maame ne me papa yɛdi nkɔmmɔ ɛwɔ phone no so anaasɛ yɛfrɛ yɛn ho nti yɛdi nkɔmmɔ anaasɛ ɔmo fɛrɛ wɔ so direct a wobɛtumi agye phone call history no ɛfiri wo phone should I say company to be able to get evidence say you are also depending on them socially as well. And now say to me, I say, omo taba Ghana, in say omo ba, omo no pia, mucha photos, muko restaurants, muko say, in say passports never say omo tie to kwine ebaba Ghana no, na more yeah in yama together. And see you can provide all of those things to show say this is how you are depending on oh mommy and I say oh papa oh yeah EU near or to chrome her and I say oh papa crampo our EU nin so and also sano omo to me aye application no based on sa ekunu and I say a year na oh yeah EU near or to chrome her.
Yo. With the Mamenka will say, Yenny, a BWF Solicitors for an editing como, lawyer Eunice, and an opinion, Miada Roma, Wabaka and Sa, Yenna a din como. To with the messenger, Umbo who de rubber, Modiana bought a Jumedian who de rupa, Fama, a Ashafunin, and almost and share a year, a Jumedia Ecoso. Lawyer, with the Mamimbusa question, we will be say lawyer. Nipa Bena, a qualify, say, obey to me, apply, a friend is saying. Obit me apply what are the requirements that a person has to satisfy when applying from outside the UK? So will be what outside UK now apply requirement ben said if no it be fulfilled send you to me satisfy immigration for no to me man akwanya no aba kuruma the requirement be what sir
Pachai. In Chroma, I didn't brand a juma nti say when the brand so unfortunately to member. It's so bad. With the can't say when it comes to your EU brand, the EU no longer protects us. It's a almost the Appendix EU no eba senya EU for nim omobusan for no muti UK hanom no omobetumi enya sitna bi atena UK hanom continuously into yeah Appendix EU and yeah Appendix EU family permits no mbra na ɔmo ahyehyɛ ama EU for any ɔmo for any nkorɔfo a ɔmo nya a ɔmo asetena no under the previous EU regulations no ɛno no a ɛbɔ ɔmo ho ban nti sɛ wobɛhwɛ yɛ Appendix EU family permit which is for let's say family members and as a joining family members are ɔmo free outside of UK no a ɔmo bɛ join saa EU national na ɔte kurom ha no there are certain requirements that have to be met. Nti baako any say sa family member na ɔreba no sɛ ɔrebɛyɛ application for family permit they should be making a valid application. Nti ɛno no sɛ saa nimpa no should be making an application based on the online system. Nti wobɛhwɛ yɛ EU applications na it is mostly an online application and then they have to be able to pay the correct fee. But with EU applications, there's no fee. Until they don't have to pay anything once the application has been submitted online. And then they also have to submit their biometrics. Into biometrics, nature say, signing panel, wako Accra Visa Center honum, akobon insano, a photo. In some instances, they will have the documents also scanned there because utia for assisted service na no almost scan it with documents no so honoma. And so that is what also they require in terms of making a valid application. And then last but not least, odo passport ebeko into valid passports and your passport are ewu passport that's so ɛwɔ that is also one of the things that makes a valid application. Nti sɛ woyɛ saa application a ɛsɛ sɛ woyɛ no online, ɛsɛ sɛ wobɔ nsa no na wotwa photo na wode wo passport no ɛkɔma wɔn, and then they would look at the fact that wonyɛ obi a woyɛ suitable for refusal. Nti ebi a ɔmo ma wo deportation order da anaasɛ ɔmo ma wo exclusion order da. Deportation orders ɛyɛ for nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo bɔne ebi a ɔmo ama ɔmo prison sentence for at least 1 year or more. UK kurom ha ɔmo asɛnde ɔmo back because kɔno na ɔmo diiɛ no ɔmo ma ɔmo prison sentence for at least 12 months or more nti saa deportation order nso ɛwɔ ɔmo so, anaasɛ exclusion
Nature
order.
sɛ lawyer metie wie deɛ a yɛwɔ nsonsonoeɛ wɔ deportation ni mu ne wɔn a yɛde wɔn kɔ fie te sɛ bi a amfɔma nkɔ ankɔto cell anaa efia because
Yeah.
mpɛn no bɛta te o na me wɔ UK deɛ deporte me na me deporte me
Aha. Nkurɔfoɔ misuse saa deportation no because ɔmo hu ne sɛ yɛde me kɔ me fie deɛ a ɔmo adeport me, but ɛnte saa, most of the time it's removal. Ɔmo yi wo efiri ɔmo kurom because ebi a wendi immigration mbra no, but sɛ yɛ deport wɔ ankasa nkasa deɛ a, it means sɛ wedi krono bi a ɔmo asentence wo for at least 12 months or more nti na yɛ deport wo. Nti sɛ wombɔ krono na ebi a ɔmo bɛkyɛ wo sɛ woyɛ adwuma without nkrataa a, ɔmo yi wo kɛkɛ. Nti sɛ removal from ɔmo kurom anaasɛ ɔmo fie. Nti people misuse the term deportation, and no nso saa ɛwɔ hɔ. Nti if you don't have any deportation order and answer exclusion order dear, then at least they will see say you are suitable to make this application. Then they also want to know say signing partner urbano akola na or say oye akola of EU nina oti krom hano. Sa akola no so obetumi akyerɛ sɛ either say oya akola of sa EU nino. Inti but most of the time, the only original birth set to show the relationship between wo any EU national na or to chrome hand dear. Then we will say your DNA. DNA no at least will be able to prove that relationship because you have to prove say you are either a direct descendant and as a you adopted or there, then you need to show the adoption documents to show say yeah adopted and see documents way in here to show that relationship between wo any EU near ɔte kurom ha. Nti most of the time no sɛ woyɛ DNA na DNA no akyerɛ sɛ ampa ɛyɛ wo ba anaasɛ ɛyɛ wo kunu ba anaasɛ ɛyɛ wo yere ɛba ampa. Then, if it is a child under the age of 21, dear, usually there isn't any other requirement. But we always suggest say, so to make sure say, oh, share akwala no. Inti say, oh, bet me the money remittance, any school letter, hospital letter, and answer bibi, ever come home. Ama one who say ampa when I will share akwala dear, then that's fine. There's no requirement say, so to make sure say, wobɛtumi ahwɛ akwadaa no in terms of money and I say accommodation, but all the time we advise people say momfa nka ho anyway, for pay slips ka ho, for bank statements ka ho, for tenancy agreements ka ho, sɛ na wobɛhu sɛ wo so woyɛ adwuma nti akwadaa no ba a wobɛtumi ahwɛ no. Nti we always ask that you add those things. But say akwadaa no ɛyɛ akwadaa a wedi over the age of 21 and I say wedi 21 years or more, then it means say saa akwadaa no has to show dependency sɛnea meka no. Nti sɛ akwadaa no edi let's say 35 na kyerɛ sɛ akwadaa no still na because of the fact say the economy ɛwɔ Ghana no ɛnhyɛ da ɛnyɛ no nti akwadaa no wɔhwehwɛ adwuma saa ɔnyɛ bi da bia ɔfrɛ me sɛ mensɛnde ne sika anaasɛ n'edwuma n'asɛe nti for the past 2 years ɔte fie ɔnyɛ edwuma no bi nti ebia me na ɛsɛ mema ne sika anaasɛ ne tenancy anaasɛ ne rent na ɔtua kakra mpo no ɛyɛ me ankasa ɛna metua saa ɛka no nti me sɛnde no sika na ɔbɛhia ɛde atua ne tenancy anaasɛ ɔbɛtua ne rent no mede saa sika no ɛna de maa no ɛna sɛ ɛba no aduane ɛne deɛ ɔde bɛfa taxi anaasɛ trɔtrɔ no me ankasa na mede saa sika no ma no Into say money transfer receipts ɛwɔ hɔ a wobɛ send it and also. But nipa no ɔwɔ Ghana no nso at least sɛ receipts bi wɔ hɔ in terms of ne T-Mobile, Mr. T-Mobile, MTN, and I say Tigo,
Vodafone.
other phone companies, no minimum, but they do have a way of getting statements from Momo. And also, Sano, say, to me, and I know so now they account home. I know say Ghana dear, Ukodruma, there's no way I'll be receipts from Ubia or Tongue Adriania. It's unheard of. And to say, yeah, Chrome ha, Uko shopper, they have to give you receipts. Unfortunately, yeah, Chrome no enters that. Into things like electricity bill, sometimes and Crawford your one customer electricity bill into I know they're over to me a receipt. But so electricity bill, any water bill, nini na share rent ni more. Then the tenancy agreement should say rent na the electricity water bill will be bia eka ho into rent na wutu aye no. And I say rent na umami and I say papa edisika brewo no. Nini na ebum in say no. And then if there is any other things that you pay for, and also sa no some mama will receipt now we keep here no because and also sa eboa. And as I was saying, say only mama and as papa edi nkoma, you can always provide those WhatsApp communication into either say almost send you messages and also almost fre or WhatsApp no so nina no you can share it, you can screenshot it and then print it out as evidence say our relationship way and me name mommy and me papa ewo into there's nothing I don't let them know nyama mu yɛ den a ɔmo ankasa ɛna ɔmo nim a metumi frɛ ɔmo yɛ situation na ɛwɔ kurom ha ayɛ so bad and I say ayɛ den so much to the extent that there is almost nothing you can do sɛ woni sika and sɛ edwuma no so sɛ a na abrabɔ mu ayɛ den nti saa evidence wey nyinaa you can show it through communication or whatever it is that you have so that someone who say yes ampa this person and I say akola wey we did 21 or more no or depending on the mama so and I say papa no so for the essential needs ohia bibi ote eduane obedi ntade obehye all of those things including the shipping receipts wo yare crampo a omo no mo send we sika into hospital for no so able to actual letter to say and nipa we nim say ne mama na say ne papa e ma ne sika or the tua bills and also the to edro into saa yema we ni na so eboa in terms of the application as well. And then once you are able to establish the relationship, any dependency, and also the fact that sa akola no EU nipa na bana, then they would also look at whether they can grant you that 6 months family payment. So we'll free Ghana Air Bar, they have to grant you 6 months family payment under Appendix EU family payment no. Nti also sa no na omo de sa leave no and I say sa visa no ahyɛ wo passport no senya wobɛtumi abɛjoin wo mame anasɛ wo papa a ɔte kurom ha.
Joe lawyer, ebedasi. We the mami be a full line. Say a man for Christ that here. One more Fred than to mami fa call we na area yenko updates. So hello, good morning. Welcome to Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. Lawyer Eunice, I say OTU. Hello. Oh, nipa na drop a corner. Mr. Wa mo amutie ye mo amohwe on Facebook so ye ma mo nyina mo so akwa aba. Ma membo modern na menye eye roll call kakra bi wo mo amohwe ye BWF Solicitors eye Facebook o me hu ni say aboafo no edoso pa. All right. Good morning. Lawyer Eunice what has say OTU. Hello, good morning. Ye mo akwa aba Rainbow Radio so.
Oh, good morning. Mr.
Pacho lawyer Eunice etiuna I am oneso kakra any day more.
Okay, good morning, doctor, and good morning, lawyer Eunice. Pacho, the question is the first one is Mati CTR no indefinite now per se we British book now instead of 10-year
route, no.
Checking route, not 10-year route. I mean 10-year character check.
I'm with last week. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Last week, 19, I think I still my 5 years. For example, me now, you deported me some time ago. No, this year, and me try 5 years now. Need to me apply immediately after 5 years. For British book now.
Okay, and so last week, as part of your topic, I was discussing say, when it comes to for year naturalization applications, not made the year updates, say, for no, usually say 10 years before your application no say be a oba ha as an illegal immigrant into na oni nkrata o dey free another EU country and I buy and answer o dey nkrata na buy but wa buy overstay e wo krom ha and answer omo dey go to immigration bill so and na undi that immigration bill no so which is within the 10 years before over your application now usually they would have refused the application because almost per se almost who say 10 years na apa ho ansa na over years naturalization application no and usually would have said say as part of good character requirements no say o make sure say 10 years na apa ho na wait to me years naturalization application no but what they have introduced and they say bia na we illegal immigrants and I said na first we overstay na undi bɔne biara within the 5 years will qualify say wokunya wo British citizenship nti usually no you have to show say oh 5 years legal residence and within that 5 years unto quite more than 450 days and when you wo indefinite and now say when you settlement and at 12 months apa from the time when you wo indefinite and I say when you settlement no unto cry more than 90 days. Nti sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ wonyɛ biribi bɔne biara in terms of immigration nti you haven't gone to then can say not what bill so as a report it and they now have said say you no longer need to report if this was outside of that 5 year qualifying period then they would disregard say with the immigration bonibi into say if you came here illegally and I said over here overstay and I said na undi immigration conditions no so almost say almost to me at their child say if within the 5 years I will be qualify by a British no undi boni biya dia they can just disregard it and then grant you your British naturalization certificate into
Yo,
sana in Brana.
line no so yeah hot pa ntino. Hello, good morning. Hello. Let me say yeah kona yeah. Hello, good morning.
Na undi
Hello, Pacho. Tuni wu radio no kakra kɔ fam na yenya feedback kakra wa ha. Na busa o question. Lawyer Eunice aye krado.
Good morning, Dr. Rena. Good morning, Eunice.
Good morning.
morning.
With them, Pacho, you keep telling person, my sister back home.
Mm-hmm.
Or the visitors decided by, but overstay Kakra 2, 3, 4 years. Now, we worried national and now I application under the Appendix EU. But then on my trial brother said offer evidence or residence evidence dated between June 2020 and December 2020. But then only BBS because of buying no crata, when it's money BBS, but then the entry stamp passport and no one or so maybe I say is there anything of which my alpha one?
Nti what's the worry obi oye EU ni no nti da be no mo worry
or more worry am no the application now to no more request for evidence of residence between June.
yeah the reason why I'm asking that is because the reason why I'm asking is that as a ultimate say or worry and answer obey and a family member before 31st December 2020.
Yes, no, a
It
family
is
member before 31st December 2020.
okay. Into
Or
the
worry
one
before
evidence to show say they were living together into Abia obetina hanom no nikunu edi ne din eto bill bi so nti nikunu etua light bill a ɔde ne din ato so bi ni kunu etua water bill a ɔde ne din atoto bi ne din ɛwɔ TV license bill bi so ɔmo wɔ insurance a ɛndeɛ ne kunu ɛde ne din aka ho bi so they just want something to show say ɔte kurom ha GP krampo betumi ama letter nti they just want something to show say ampa no ɔne ne kunu ɛte kurom ha ɔmo te bom. That is the kind of evidence they are looking for because
Okay.
ɛsɛ to make sure based on Appendix EU say what's not kurom ha so when to me and so then they cannot grant you leave, you know.
Okay, let me say we say quite the Omo bisa for cohabitation though. Omo pay anything in the applicant, no, in name, in address also, which is dated in 2020 June and then 31st December 2020. But on one case as a person, the Unishe and any consequence for the Omonia joint at DBA, except say or entry stamp or just say or Baha before 2020 no come here or more question. So now I was saying with that
They ask
entry
for
visa,
specific time period.
because
Omo
of it.
bisa for evidence for a specific time period, Anna.
Yeah, just between June 2020 and then the 1st December 20, just to say those times no Okuma say.
Yeah. It's the only GP.
Only be apart from that entry stamp or back come out for a stamp more the way how on call be.
Wait
Now I was thinking say obeti me and ako.
Nana, wait there. Akoya a friend is saying a merenintino, a lawyer didn't know about betuja. Now, friend, not church in the now, when you time non diagnose the mouth now because BWF Solicitors there. Oh, you best of one time.
Me pass so much.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Offer for a one man so, Lino, I catch it. Lawyer, wait a moment, call a WhatsApp, so now I'm for update, Nimbra. Obi said, please, lawyer, Eunice, Mr. Ofori and Miss Bauer have a child, but divorced and living separately. Now, the child normally lives with the mother. One day, Miss Bauer left the child alone and at home and went to cinema. Social services got the information and went to rescue the child. Fortunately, the mother arrived home to meet social worker and police with her child. The child has now been placed in the care of his mother's sister whilst court proceedings is ongoing. Father has no status. Mother has no status, but the child has a settled status under EUSS, which he derived from grandmother. Passport copies of parent and the child has been collected to check the status of all parties from Home Office. Can Mr. Ofori be arrested and removed for having no status while court proceedings is ongoing? Can the Home Office come to the court to pick up as overstaying is now criminal offense? Can a lawyer represent him in court in his absence due to sickness?
And see, Mr. Ofori, no, we can see, say, from that question, he is an illegal immigrant, but also he has a son based on EU settlement scheme, no. Sa Kolano ever indefinite leave to remain. It's definitely sa Mr. Ofori, no, even though he has committed an offense and the law is such that Omobetumi Amano immigration bill and then he will be liable for removal. Into Enono Sano, he may be removed. But even in that, so Osiki legal assistance as soon as possible. Obetumi at the application atum as the father of Akolano, because Akolano will indefinite leave to remain. Into sa Akolano ebetumi actually say me papa no oni asetena ewo krom ha, but under your EU law Appendix FM no, because me papa obi a oni nkrata but ohwe me nti me grandmother ehwe me ɛna me papa nso even though a ɔne me mama ɛnte no me papa sometimes oba fear or talk inyama brɛ me ne me grandmother crampo enim sɛ me papa no every birthday bia oba make sure sɛ obedi me birthday ama me or to talk inyama or me grandmother sika sometimes senya obetumi ɛde ato bibi nso ama me. Nti that father as well can make an application under Appendix FM. Say yeah, most direct fathers are able to make applications there or direct access. And say Mr. Otri no to me definitely over to me I application no based on sa akolana when indefinite no based on ni grandmother or EU settlement scheme na say.
Joe, with the phone line is why a busy point. With the Mr. Mobile na question no, my bonnet tougher not lawyer Eunice to me actually remove kama mamo. Now with me the update in so good morning, and lawyer Eunice wa OTO question.
Good morning. Lawyer, I mikra pre-settlement status me worry EU ni na mdini. Unfortunately, me know about for awo. Na me pese nka it's not media no tsunami ye bi ma abofra na possible. The possible so a me nkrata na supporting documents where na also me use.
Into banka say credit.
Me yere ne de okuta EU passport no de ye ma me. Me fa na say me concubine na yere awo akola do. Okura hanum birth certificate.
Okay, into Wobana initially because ne mama initially.
Bachai.
Into and it just Wobana onya 7 years. Onya 7 years and na to me I application for indefinite leave to remain. Into patro tina wola no so a.
We dey diule mu a. Na mo mbomode ana friend lawyer after the program. Ebi ana questions ni answers ni bo eto so.
Okay.
Yo, yeah, that's it. Koswaneti Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. Mami nchia wo mo hwe na ajima ehwe. Ohini David nso ehwe sana Docas Adom ehwe. Ohini David hwe all the way from Germany. Docas nso hwe na ajima. Mesera, keep your questions coming. Why? Na yimbi lawyer wa hase obetimi eyi wo nsem ni nyina no ama. Lawyer bajo to asumai.
Okay. In terms of updates, na obi the question no ebaye. And last week I was mentioning say as of 28th of June this year Borders and Nationality Act na Parliament no eshishe MI no one of the amendments to British Nationality Act of 1981, and it says usually application na within the qualifying period would be application to naturalize as a British citizen. Na kyerɛ sɛ ebia with the immigration breaches nibi nti either that you came here illegally anaasɛ wabɛyɛ overstay anaasɛ webu ɔmo conditions nibi no, they would usually have refused your application within that 10-year period. But ɔmo aka sɛ wonyɛ bɔne bia within that 5-year qualifying period ne dia, they would disregard any immigration breaches no within that 10-year period. And see, say if within a 10-year period before that 5-year qualifying period na odewenya naturalization no with the immigration bonibia, they will grant you your naturalization for the British citizenship. And see, and no is a good thing because usually people would have said, oh, and some train more than 10 years and sana me record no actually say na me legal ewo krom ha anaasɛ sɛ mekyerɛ sɛ na mewɔ asetena within a specific period ansa na mayɛ me naturalization.
Lawyer, we the mesre wa so mu kakra ma me. Course no the way eba no edoso. Facebook so questions be bring so eba. To the so mo ma me na me call your WhatsApp ne your numbers other lines ne so. We every missy wo. Or say can I bring my nephew to UK? The dad is late. Mama if one so ehwe san so na ni takin so ha Ezekiel so ha say da mo nyina ma se mon so na mon share emfama. Hello, good morning. Lawyer Eunice e wa say pachobusa question na lawyer enyiwa no ma.
Hello, good morning, Lawyer Eunice. If I told you this is a boko.
Yeah, me adon.
Yeah, no bad they say. Lawyer, if I told obi a wa worry you one family premise from her. Obetumi the DNA in Kwakofa Nima Ghana Aba without birth certificate now. There's a problem with the birth certificate as at the moment. And so obetumi the DNA in any chat, any money transfer, Akofa Naba without birth certificate now, lawyer. Thank you.
Of
Yo,
course.
yeah, that's it. Young question back on
Obetumi.
na lawyer, so would you now from you in boom na answer mammy any day mammy say what?
Okay.
Good morning, lawyer. Eunice say to you.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Doc. Hi. Hello, lawyer Eunice. Me pasa me di me niece and also me nephew, but I'm a British citizen. But me pasa, I just want to know how to go about it. And near me pasa, penina me pasa me de bano. He's about 12 years. And see, I don't know. I'm so confused. How do I go about it? And what are the requirements?
Where do you need how
I want to start question about nephew, Nana.
Okay, so I have to contact them, isn't it?
No, listen. Lawyer busa a question. We said, when I busa about nephew, you know WhatsApp, Nana.
I am here.
Okay. Yeah, now. Okay. It's me who question. I wasn't sure that we are British near and answer settled
Hello,
person.
Dr. Ren.
Hello, Pacho. Lawyer, you are normal, Pacho Tinenka.
Missing a friend, missing in coffee,
You.
And that's how we say what radio no so.
Okay, Pacho, for phone it to so lawyer answer no. Mama, why?
Okay, all right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. In regards to the nephew now, person or the neighbor no. First of all, if I say akwala parents ever here, say ne papa ewu ne mama nso ever here. Say if she's saying say ne papa and ne mama any ho, mama no age akwala no ho, and ne papa ewu nti say ultimately de akwala and eba krom ha dia, then I'll ask her to go and do a custody order. Nti say papa ewu na obi eni ho a obetumi ahwe akwala no ewo Ghana dia, and the onko Ghana no nkoje custody order say akwala no abeye ne ba. Nti say ono na ɔhwɛ akwala ne didie mu ne bibie mu no ɔno na ɔhwɛ akwala no. Nti with that custody order, wobɛhwɛ yɛ immigration rules under yɛ paragraph 276 when it comes to applications. Is it 276 297 no, it comes to applications for children. Senya nkɔla no ebetumi adjoin omo relatives anaasɛ omo maame anaasɛ omo papa ɛwɔ kurom ha. They look at whether saa maame anaasɛ papa no anaasɛ saa relative no ɛwɔ either British citizenship anaasɛ settlement ɛwɔ kurom ha. With that, that child is able to then make an application saying say or joining no mame and ne papa and ne relative ever chrome ha. If the relative can show say they are related. Also akwala ne mame and ne papa no so we free a obetire sa evidence no. So our custody order and so obetire say our custody order say ono na ohwe akwala no. And then she'll have to be able to show say obetumi ahwe no in terms of ne didie mu ne bibie mu nti she can maintain him adequately. It means ebia oye juma nti ne juma na oye no so oyi ne rent ni free ma or more than enough money a obetumi ade ahwe ne ho ene akwala ne nyinaa based on income support rate na mo de ma mama for anasa papa for ene nkwala no work from her. Her income has to be equal to that income support rate. And then she also has to show say obetumi enya dan mu ama natna into say ebia ne flat a otim one bedroom flat but or living room. She can convert that living room into a bedroom saying akola no so ebetumi enya baby so ada. Into when it comes to making those applications patcho bebre say say ya obey na dia and the me the numbers no ebeto dwa any address no say ya obetumi aba SK for more advice and I say so person your application on somehow na yetumi ayama.
Yo, with the lawyer, for no man not to a super commander, maybe I will come baby I want you on a preco na ombra.
Patriot. And see your office telephone number is 0208 493 7340. It's 0208 493 7340. Say open Miakasami number senya say offer out of office hours wobɛtumi anya me a ɛyɛ 075 3581 3910 into 075 3581 3910. Sɛ wofrɛ yɛ office line na wopɛ sɛ book appointment a ɔmo bɛtumi book appointment ama wo for Monday to Friday. Usually no your offices ne be from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Into sɛ wofrɛ a be from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sɛnea wobɛtumi book appointment ama wo.
Joe lawyer, but that's not young call a woman so. And the Pacona will be said, obey to DNA a money transfer. And so the question, no.
Okay.
It's
I know say
lawyer, sorry, young for we not fat question in a boom na answer. But your lawyer Eunice 80.
Good morning, Lawyer Eunice.
good morning.
If I talk to him with that question, we are British, and I'm not be a British, and I may call holiday. Now, acquiring you, I say, on my other Ghana for 3 weeks. And you know, me person, me then echo, now me then back. Now, acquire the one.
It's so usually we have Pajote.
I thought 2 years. Yeah,
Okay. Now maybe sasa what say menka.
I'm a soul papa.
Okay. Into say we are British ni na onana upesa what did it to kwanya. You can travel with that child, but I always say it's better for the parents to write a consent letter. Senya udru baby no mu bisa say akolano hey bad. You have a consent letter from the parents themselves. Into usually no say ebane say oko airport no mu bisa say akola we or your then you provide a consent letter with a copy of ne mame ID. Into say ne mame throw consent letter say ope say only akola need to kwan eko Ghana for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Not then a passport copy na attach here eboa. And then you can always add a copy of akola ne birth cert, just in case they need that evidence say akola ne mame eye because the birth cert no wo ho a akola ne mame din e so consent letter no so ebe chere ne mame ni din. So always have a copy of akola ne birth cert and a consent letter with a copy of ne mame ID to show say obetumi ne akola no itu kwan. Oh, you don't need that. But so person would the birth cert ne can ID no ho there, then that's fine. But akola na kasa ne birth cert na make kan answer.
Sure. Yes, you're that's continuity Rainbow Radio, my mommy person in an alcohol holidays. Lawyer, DNA, any money transfer, meet me the confirm a menu number or friend for back or friend. The question I know be son.
Yes, in terms of DNA, no, say only birth sets, and I say birth sets now. No, because I know say with Ghana no, on back I shall say koye biometric birth sets ni bi. Into koye BBI, say koye biometric birth sets ni bi. Into sometimes they don't do things properly. Into say birth sets no mistake be abahona on person ube use birth sets no na o person use DNA nkwa. That is sufficient because all you are showing is the relationship. Omo person who say ampa we way ba and I say ampa we nana and I say ampa we ne mame and I say ne papa. Into the evidence of relationship no birth set and I say DNA evidence. Into say to me and birth set there and the DNA evidence no so ebeboa. It is all about what evidence you can use to show that the relationship is what you say it is. And say so birth sets, I mean only birth sets no with DNA and they are over to me and you see DNA no.
Joe lawyer, where the na ebeko update ne subim na ye dia meti for.
Patrio. And say yes, like I was saying, when it comes to our naturalization applications, that is one of the things that amend in terms of nkɔfo ɔmo edi immigration bɔne bi a ɔmo hwɛ sɛnea ɔmo betumi ayɛ ɔmo naturalization applications ntɛm. And then when it comes, last week I was mentioning, so when it comes to your general applications, no, I know, say for one reason or the other, no, sorry, one reason or the other, no, when it comes to delays, nkurɔfoɔ bebree aka say they know said there are delays in terms of the applications, and some more application and more senya to me enya quick response. Of course, so was sika na wobetumi atua for priority service a wobɛtua for priority service senya wobetumi enya answer in time. But say Eunice as a Canada, they are processing the applications much more quickly than before, but they are not changing almost processing times. No, it is still the same as it was about 2 months ago. Into say oh train for application, yeah. I know say they are beginning to respond to applications now what hot did that into say oh application I could do on chain, let's say 9 months, 12 months. Now, oh, chain saying response. They are starting to respond to those applications into they are working on them because I've received a lot of responses from them. Whether we application in the UK and now say outside of the UK, they are beginning to
Yo.
respond to those applications, no, in time. Into that is also another thing. And then I
Lawyer,
also
and
want to
yeah,
mention
so what do you kakra? When we say time
Fajiri.
check now, here 2 past the hour 10. Mr. Wab, I've been for offer for we now. Hello, good morning, lawyer Eunice. What I say?
Morning, doctor. And in lawyer Eunice. Na me some morning lawyer Eunice ni mo pa mo ye bo my Ghana for ye wo kroma. Me pa cho question ba ku bi na person busa lawyer Eunice. We dey enye eyi bia Mrs. Wale Eunice. Na be 6 months ni adwuma sem be ma ne said anya adwuma. Na ya ma oba ni mfie num no osro say e bia be ma na adwuma say ni mu no. So one okoji ebeka say wanya adwuma continuous. Emre bi bi to ne ho nipa bi sa 2016 mu. Ye ka se nipa na anya adwuma 3 months, you know. Ya mfa nde fitina ma no ye ma another 5 years this okoba bi into ko hu obi no bi say sadia wonye self employment na okoba sa gab na edam no in case say in future no de ko ji asitran fi no ni so a na mi osimi musa lawyer Eunice man say eno no on cross gab no ko register self employment na on cross ana say on san ko pe adwuma foforo enye no fan to na gab ni na musa when I'm seeing
Okay.
Eunice.
Into their na that for the catch no, it was applicable at that time. Into na no correct time na all yet the application no. But because this say Appendix EU and I say EU settlement scheme as no, the requirements are totally different. Into say we EU ni and I say we EU ebusi ni dia. There is no requirement say we trust we a qualified person. At first no say oh say oh you're qualified person as oh say either say oh yeah juma and I say oh yeah self-employed and I say oh yeah student and I say self-sufficient person with comprehensive sickness insurance but see there is no requirement like that and one say oh say EU ni no what's not a chrome half for a period of 5 years or more and I say what's not handum for less than 5 years into say oh to me at nko they say Nikunu atena ha for 5 years, then they would grant. So unto me, enchire se Nikunu atena ha for that 5 year period ne dia na asem akoba ho. Before no, when it comes to even things like naturalization, no baby say na ukunu eye juma na and those are the kind of things they will ask in terms of with naturalization because they want to know say obemitisa EU embrano as it was at the time. But of course, because the new appendix EU is only based on acetinano, the fact that nipa kono etumi actually say watna have for that continuous period no without any gaps into gaps no etumi within a given year into within 12-month period say if for instance wokyerɛ sɛ wetu kwan wonya 5 years wetu kwan more than 6 months within every 12 months anaa krampo sɛ wonya wo settlement wetu kwan more than 5 years deɛ they can say said those have broken your continuous residence. But sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ there's no gaps in the continuous residence deɛ ɛndeɛ wobɛtumi akɔnya ne indefinite no pɛpɛɛpɛ.
Joe, with the ebedasi na koswati Rainbow Radio, my lawyer, with the ye wrap it up, no, na with the update name my no.
Factory, that's very Dr. Ren. It's a last but not the least, in terms of applications for Nkolana Abia Omo Atna Ekromha for a continuous period of 7 years or more. And I say Omo Atna Ekromha Omo by time Omo Nkola, they are still under the age of 25 but over the age of 18. When it comes to those applications, as much as possible say akwala no wɔ ha na we did 7 and I say we did more than 7 now per se application for indefinite ɛma na still na ɛkwan ɛwɔ hɔ a wobɛtumi ayɛ saa application no ama akwala no ɛnya ne indefinite no straight away as long as you can show say akwala no wɔ ha watena ha for a continuous period ɛna there's no reason and I say will be unreasonable sɛ saa akwala no wobɛfiri kurom ha asan akɔ ɛkuro foforɔ bi so nti ɛno no saa no sɛ woyɛ application na woyɛ a direct immigration indefinite leave to remain application no ama saa akwadaa no. And then when it comes to yɛn nkwadaa no a yɛde ɔmo baeɛ time ɔmo sa no sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ saa akwadaa no ɔda so ɛyɛ under the age of 25 but ebia within more than 18 watena ha continuously with legal status for a period of 5 years nti ɔbɛtena ha no onya 2.5 asan ama no another 2.5 but sisi no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔgye ne indefinite wate sɛ ɔmo bɛtumi ama ne indefinite after 5 years whereas before no a 10-year period nti onya 2.5 for a continuous period of 10 years ansa na wetumi enya no indefinite but sisi adeɛ no they're saying so as long as you can show say what's not her with legal status and I say lawfully for that continuous 5-year period no say oh yeah application na so call your life in the UK ni be so call your English language the only GCSE and I say A level la so call your English language test ni be senya omo to me ama indefinite leave to remain based on the fact say oh you're under the age of 25 but above the age of 18 in sa nkola we nyina ebetumi aye applications for indefinite leave to remain in the UK. I know say application no boy den kakra is over £2,400 but so banning indefinite there are so many benefits to it including the fact say I will phone also ebetumi ejina akola no so and the rest of it nti sɛ yɛ wonim obi anaasɛ wonim sɛ obi so ebetumi enya mfaso bi efiri ɛno nso hɔnom a na wama saa nipa no nso ehu sɛ sei na sei ɛna ɛɛkɔ. Dr. Rem nyame nhyira sɛ wode mbrɛ no bi nso akyɛ yɛn.
Na lawyer obi busa sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ohum akyira kwan a ɛhɛmfa na mowɔ na telephone numbers bɛn ɛna obi betumi afrɛ mu na warekyɛ mu.
Fashion into your 7 Sisters into your building a 7 Sisters Underground Station in Impair. The address is the 4th floor of Anna House into your 4th floor of Anna House. 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, no so. London. Postcode N15 4NP. N15 4NP. So over say ofre now book your appointments telephone number 0208 493 7340. It's 0208 493 7340. Your BA offices from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. sɛ wofrɛ yɛn na wopɛ sɛ wobuki Zoom appointment so a wofrɛ yɛn main office line a yɛbɛtumi nso ebuki Zoom appointment so ama wo. In terms of me ankasa me number no nso ɛyɛ 075 35 81 3910 into 075 35 81 3910 into sɛ nyame boa nso a dasɛndɛ na yɛtumi ahyia biom.
Yo, lawyer Eunice bɛda ase nti bɔmmɔden a na ɛhyɛ ne nso sɛ BWF Solicitors deɛ ɔmo yɛ proud ɛyɛ preferred community lawyers a wɔmaboa yɛn for many years, almost 30 years. Ɛyɛ lawyer Ben ɛne ɛyɛ lawyer Eunice ne ebusuafoɔ ɔmo hɔ nyinaa nti bɔmmɔden a na hyɛ ne nso every Thursday bia 9 a.m. pɛpɛɛpɛ ekusi 10 a.m. pɛpɛɛpɛ yɛne ɔmo twetwe nkɔmmɔ ɛyɛ free legal education de bia meka sɛ let us take opportunity and advantage ne ebusa questions saa pocket lawyers na ɔmo na mantem no bɔmmɔden amfa wɔwerɛ ne wɔ okra nkɔnkɔhyɛ mu because any mistake that you can make Moses near so the 40 days and the 2 kwan do a 40 years. Sometimes certain mistakes be will make here. Now afraid they are costal. I didn't can take you 2 years now when you're on crata when you're indefinite. Now afraid work on an amco for no sa nature a quack. Making sure say only BWF solicitors for every day a year in Kitan so no to me aboa I won't crata so many them. And I pay so yeah the winner must say. You say Thursdays piano over name everything come. Thank you. Yanko anywhere.
Irene say, please, my husband did applications for my children, and it has been refused 3 times based on handwritten birth certificates. Is that an opportunity to do appeal or fresh application? Okay, and say, Irene, because I don't know what application he was making, whether it was EUDA and I say based on the fact that Mukra limited leave to remain under the immigration rules and also Okra indefinite leave to remain and also Okra British citizenship. I'm not sure which application was made, but if it's a family application, they always give right of appeal. And so say yeah appeal somehow, then you need to bring the refusal decision, any documents, to your offices saying you're able to me, Ashrim advisory will in order to proceed. Into say a appeal there, we need to see the documents in order for you to make the right step in the next direction. Into definitely appeal a option back also to me a use so. Question where ABC say if you are on care work visa and you have over 10 years dependent needs and Ghana, I'm thinking say needs needed 10. Can you add her to your children? Kindly educate me. Into say oh work permit visa, they only allow for you to bring wo yere anasa ukunu anasa oba your dependent child directly related to you. So a niece, unfortunately, no, she's seen to not be a direct relative and as a defendant. In say no, sano, you would have to think otherwise. In say, unfortunately, the niece will not qualify under the skilled worker dependent route. No, it's please, if you are thinking about bringing on no dear so when to me and chess or your direct dependence on you there, then unfortunately they would not be able to allow her to come because usually they are looking to see whether you have sole responsibility or you both parents are here in the UK and are bringing the child, or as it is, they are looking to see if the other parent has basically absconded and the two of you are saying say maybe a mayere a mawari no enye akola ne mama but ye na yehwe akola no. So it is also important say obetumi ache Zayema way in terms of making the application for a dependent child under the skilled work route. Smith Mercy or say I was patiently listening to her explanation on the naturalization before she was cut short. What now? When it comes to naturalization applications, no, she's also asking, say, is the character requirement for naturalization now limited to 5 years instead of 10 years? It's in terms of the naturalization applications, usually no you say when it comes to uh good character requirements, no, and immigration breaches, because there are so many good character factors that are almost rare, but this is in particular to immigration breaches in abia say ubaha illegally, and I say abia ubaha because you were a person who has overstayed wonya setena ɛna wabɛyɛ overstay a anaasɛ ɔmo ma wo immigration bill bi ɛna wo breach conditions ne bi. When it comes to those applications, no, almost say if you haven't been in breach of any of those conditions within the qualifying 5 year period, then it means that wow, oh yeah, applicants, no. So oh yeah, application now you can basically show say because of that but then I would do within the 10 year period na and I say but then I would do before the 5 year period, you are now able to make an application. Into before it would have been 10 year period for you to be able to make that application for naturalization because you want to know says that 10 year period na pa ho. But now they're saying say if there has been no breaches within that 5 year period, na wait me your application, no. Into now it's not the 10 year period like before. Into after your 5 year qualifying period, you can go ahead and make an application to naturalize as a British citizen. Into yes, you can now go ahead and make an application after a 5 year qualifying period if you are not in breach of any of those immigration decisions, no, and I say in breach of those immigration laws, no, then you can go ahead and make that application. Okay, into I think so that was the last question. You bet and the hopefully no that's in there you be saying Asia biom. Medamunina ase yame enkramo enshramunina. Bye bye.
yɛyɛ fɛ ma yɛwɔ london yɛagye abasobɔdeɛ bebree na yɛaredare ɛwɔ mmaransɛm mu ɛyɛ legal services bi te sɛ family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wɔ BWF deɛ yɛn solicitors ɛde anigyeɛ ɛna twitwagye woɔ na yɛboɔ nso nyɛ den koraa. Yɛn partner panin paa Bernardo Wusu ayɛ lawyer ɛwɔ UK memu bɛburu mfie 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura wɔn ho. Nti sɛ ba na ebusuansɛm bi te sɛ child care, ɛyɛ abofra hwɛ mu, awaregya yɛ ho twema mentwe, ɛne ɔhyɛ anaa injunction a yɛde to domestic violence so a, yɛmma wo legal assistance a ɛdi mu na yie adwuma nso. Yɛn child care ɛne family team no nim nea wofa mu ɛwɔ nea ɛyɛ wɔ bere yi mu. Ɛno nti ne yɛto yɛn bo ase ma wafoto a ɛsɛ fata ɛwɔ kokoa mu. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agyina to mu na ɔsan so yɛ member na kyerɛ sɛ ɛba no sɛ yɛgyina w'akyi ɛtwitwa agye wo ɛwɔ family ɛne matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw koraa. Wopɛ advice ɛwɔ immigration nsɛnsɛm ho. Wɔ BWF Solicitors deɛ yɛn immigration team no avedare ɛwɔ general immigration ho nsɛmsɛm kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho ntotoyɛ ɛne entry clearance visas, family visas ne appeals. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ member na wasan gyina tom ɛwɔ Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Nti sɛ yɛtae w'akyi a wonni haw koraa. Yɛbie yɛn office free dwada ekosi fiada anɔpa nɔnkron pɛɛ mu ekosi enumere nonsia ɛyɛ 9:30 AM kosi 6 PM ɛna memene da nso ɛyɛ appointment nko a free anɔpa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 ɛyɛ 10 AM kosi 4 PM. Yɛwɔ 4th floor ɛwɔ Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. sɛ wo nante free 7 Sisters Underground nso a ɛyɛ kwan tiaa bi. Yɛn senior partner Bernardo Wusu san yɛ barrister ya Gina Tumu na ɔyɛ Ghana Bar Association member ɛna wasan gyina sɛ mmaranimfoɔ ɛwɔ court cases a ɛfa Ghana law ho. Wa advising local authorities, official solicitors office, ne solicitors bebree ɛfa Ghanaian law ho yie. Na ɔsan yɛ obi a ɔtae kasa ɛwɔ radio ɛne TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.